youtube.com/MayhewMayhem. That's youtube.com/MayhewMayhem.
Hello and welcome to another episode of 30 Minutes of Mayhem. I am your host, my name is Michael Mayhew, and I am here with my co-hosts.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Greg. And also joining us once again is everybody's favorite professional shitfucker.
I'm James.
Remember, everybody, 30 Minutes of Mayhem is available not just on YouTube, but also on iTunes, Android, Stitcher, and Spreaker. All you have to do is search MayhewMayhem. That's MayhewMayhem. And also, please make sure to rate us 5 stars.
Also, you can help us afford to continue doing the show by donating to 30 Minutes of Mayhem via PayPal. Just use the email address in the description, 30minutesofmayhem@gmail.com.
As I said, welcome to 30 Minutes of Mayhem, the podcast your mother can be ashamed of. And James, tell me why this is the podcast your mother can be ashamed of.
Because some people like anal fisting.
That is exactly correct. And for this episode, we have the most requested guest to return, Mahoney the M.I.L.F.
Hi.
Again, I gotta say how much she sounds like a child, but she's truly not. Before we get into these topics, I just have a little story that I want to share with you guys. A few episodes ago, well, actually a little bit farther than that, I told a story, I believe it was on episode 54. I tell a story about how my ex jerked me off and got my bodily fluids on her on the ground, and I feared, after she pointed it out, that if a crime scene was to take place there, that my DNA would be everywhere. The same girlfriend and I liked to, let's kind of, I don't want to say spice things up, but maybe spice things up. She was a very big fan of my semen, per se. She didn't care where it went as long as it didn't go in her. That was the only rule.
What? That's nasty.
What about the mouth area?
Nope, that's in. Like, face fine, inside mouth not fine. A couple of times it did get shot up her nose, but that's, again, neither here nor there. But as long as it didn't go inside of her, that was the only catch. She loved wherever I wanted to put it. So just to make a little game out of it, because we like to make games out of a lot of things, we created a little, like, wheel, okay? So, and this wheel, I kind of took a paper clip, bent the paper clip, and stuck it up through the middle of this wheel, and we made each sections of this wheel for the different spots, locations, if you will, different body parts. We would spin this wheel, and whatever number it landed on, each body part or location on the body was associated with a number, and whatever number it landed on, that's the next time when the semen was extracted from my body would go on hers. Once a particular location was covered, in more ways than one, I guess you could say, we would black out that area on the wheel, and so that we didn't have duplicate locations. Needless to say, with this particular ex of mine, my semen has been everywhere over her body, just not inside of it, except for, like I said, I shot it up her nose a couple times.
A couple times.
I really hope that I don't know this ex, because I don't think I could ever look at her again.
You do not.
Okay, good.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is why 30 Minutes of Mayhem is the podcast your mother can be ashamed of.
Yeah.
Because Michael likes to douse bitches in his semen.
Pretty much.
Speaking of semen, we got a follow-up from episode 48 that I want to talk about. In this episode, Mahoney, you try to argue the point that for a man, a straight male, having another male jerk off on his face was worse than getting your skin zipper opened up.
Well, because I've had my skin zipper opened up, and that shit healed. Like, it's fine now, but I don't remember that because it went away. I don't remember that pain. But the look in someone's eyes when they're about to ejaculate on you is the scariest thing, in my opinion, that I've ever gone through.
So you've gone through both, and in your personal opinion, skin zipper being opened up is not as bad?
Nope.
So your argument is semen going onto the face is not as bad.
It's not just the semen. It's
yeah.
the emotion behind it.
Well, that's I meant that the semen is worse than the skin zipper is what I meant to say. I said it backwards there. And my argument is still skin zipper getting opened up worse. Greg, your opinion, has it changed any?
No.
James, would you rather have your skin zipper opened up or a man to jack off on your face?
Are you kidding me? Rip my skin zipper open.
Exactly.
Right now.
Thank you.
Well, I'm a man. I don't want another man to jack off onto my face. But...
Yeah, but the man's gonna be the one opening your skin zipper.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's a man forcibly fucking you that rips open your skin zipper.
Oh.
So in your opinion, which is worse, having a man forcibly rip open your skin zipper or a man
forcibly ejaculate on your face?
Which one's worse?
Now he doesn't know.
Can I just...
He's like, can I pick neither?
Yeah. Okay, if it had to be one or the other.
Yeah.
So I'm getting rammed, okay?
Yep.
Or I'm getting cum on my face.
You're getting rammed to the point where he rips from your butthole to your balls, pretty much, or you don't have to go through that, and all he does is jerk off on your face. Which would you rather go through?
Well, since I'm a man, I would rather have it on my face, because I don't want nobody fucking my ass. That's not happening.
I guess you guys just have to have it happen to you to realize which one is actually worse.
It's not going to happen to me.
Right, but I mean, is it really that bad?
Well, it may also be because I was highly medicated, but I still had, once the drugs were gone, I still had the reminiscence of what had happened. And something came out of there way bigger than a dick. So I still think okay, you guys said you would rather get cum on your face or whatever. The guy that would be forcibly raping you, just picture what his face could look like right now. Just that adds into the element of it being scary for your asshole to your balls being ripped open. Not just because it's your asshole and your balls being ripped open, but because it's probably some big, hairy, sweaty guy who just wants to make you his bitch. Imagine that same face staring at you in the eyes, making your face his bitch. Not your asshole, your face. Your face is his cum blanket.
Just some big, fat, hairy, sweaty guy who has horrible body odor and just is just
Jesus.
Just taking you to Browntown.
To Browntown.
No.
I would still rather the facial over getting my butthole ripped open.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't even have to look at the guy when you're getting your butthole ripped open.
It's more painful and it's more scarring. I'm sorry.
It is absolutely more scarring, both emotionally and physically.
Yes.
My scar is fine. The one that I would have on my brain would not be
Now, if we're saying a girl was fucking me with a butt plug, or I'm getting cum on by a guy, then I'd rather take the butt plug. But it's just, I don't want a guy fucking me.
Right.
That's just all.
So, in order for you guys to be in my situation, I'm going to have to implant children in you and then rip them out of your taint.
Well, I guess more or less.
Just straight out, just rip it straight out.
You experiencing both. Your opinion is that it's getting your skin zipper opened is not that bad.
It's not. It's not. And they make dissolving stitches now too. You don't even have to pull them out yourself. You can just
see, you don't have balls, okay? So you don't know what it's like to be kicked in the nads or to accidentally sit down wrong and crush your nuts or any sort of awful thing happen to your man bits. I I could only imagine the agonizing pain that would happen if something absolutely traumatic having them torn open like that would be it would just be probably so bad I would probably kill myself.
But to be fair, Greg, you don't know what it's like, at least as far as I know, you don't know what it's like to have a guy come on your face like she does.
Now, what if you were highly medicated when the guy came on your face? Would it be different?
I may not have testicles, and I may not have, almost snagged my dick in my zipper or something like that.
Oh.
But
I guess you have a
You-
period.
Exactly. Exactly.
That
No,
is true. So
our ovaries are being internally squeezed. Like you
Oh
guys
my.
can prevent getting kicked in the balls. You guys can like recover in like 30 seconds to 2 minutes from sitting on your balls. We have periods. We have periods where it goes 4 to 5 days of our ovaries just being internally squeezed for no goddamn reason other than the fact that it means we're not pregnant.
let's just compromise and say that being human and being alive fucking sucks. Though it is better than the alternative.
Let me turn it and just put it just to Mahoney like this. On episode 48, when you were last on, and we talked about the amounts of money and things you would do, you basically said for, I don't remember, it was a X amount of million of dollars, you'd take a dick in the ass, correct?
No, that is not what I said.
Oh, well.
I said for $1 million, I'd get my butthole pierced.
I thought that's what you were getting at.
Oh, Lordy.
No, and then you got mad because I said I don't do butt stuff, and then you tried to downgrade me. You tried to downgrade me from MILF status.
Yes, I remember, and of course I took it back because I was joking. So the way I took it, and I think the way everybody else took it, even the listeners, is that you were saying you would do butt stuff for...
No, I would not do butt stuff for $1 million. I would do butt stuff maybe for, I don't know.
$1 billion?
Yeah, pretty much $1 billion.
Okay, so in your situation then, okay, if it was just you, and either a dude's either gonna, how'd you put it, use your face as his cum blanket, or forcibly fuck you in the ass until it is reopened, your wound reopened.
Like V to A?
Oh, well, it would be A to V because the D would be in the A, so it would be like, so it would be like reverse.
That's
not
true.
Yeah, but basically the female taint area between the V and the A would be ripped open via being fucked in your ass. Which would you rather? Which is worse? Or which would you rather have? I mean.
I don't know, because they reinforced that shit pretty well, so I think it would take a lot of force.
Well, I mean, it's one or the other. It's gonna happen.
It's butt stuff, man.
So butt stuff would be worse?
No, I would take the butt stuff over the facial.
Really?
Yeah, because
What?
okay, I wouldn't have to look at him, and then hopefully in like 30 to 45 minutes the butt stuff would be over. But for the rest of my life, I'm gonna have this this image of this angry man jerking off in my face, like, and he's enjoying it and I'm not, and so like I'm just always gonna be like, whenever I try to be happy, I'm just gonna remember that guy was once happy, and then I'm gonna be sad forever.
You're saying $1 billion to take a D in the A, and then you say you would rather take a D in the A than take a facial.
Yeah.
That shows how much you hate facials. Which.
But no. See, now I am in the context of taking a facial from an angry man. Say I was with someone and they're like, "Hey," I'd be like, "Don't get it in my eye. Don't get it in my hair. That's all I ask." And not my ear. Like that's just like a weird spot for it to end up. It's like in your ear, because it's really hard to get a wet willy to be unwet. Like.
Okay, so you're against them in the context of it's going to be an angry person doing it, not
Yes.
someone that you're involved.
Yes, like how it would be, because it would be forceful to you guys, so it would have to be forceful to me for it to have the same effect.
Correct. I agree with that. Okay. So, if we've retained anyone at this point because of how this episode started out, we've been doing a whole lot of talking about dicks, which by nature is what this show is apparently about anymore. So, speaking of dick, not only is this a genre of pornography, but this is also something very, very common that females do, and that is little dick shaming. Now, I got multiple questions to this. One of them being, who the hell watches little dick shaming porn and jerks off to that? Because that's of all subgenres of porn, that is one of like the most fucked up. Like, how do you jerk off? And the only other one I can think of that's just about as bad is like gilfs, like granny porn. Because who wants to watch that? Because like, I mean, anytime you would watch that, wouldn't you just think of your own grandmother sucking a dick?
Oh,
like, you don't want to think about it. You don't want to.
I can think of worse. I can think of worse stuff than that.
Well, I'm just saying. I can think of worse stuff than that too. But like, these are a little bit more common of things. Like, you want to go worse. You know, bestiality is obviously worse. Who the fuck? But like, I'm saying these are common things. So, and my second question about little dick shaming is, what is it with females when a relationship ends or whatever? One of the things that they tend to go after when attacking the guy is saying, oh, well, he had a little dick. Well, you were with him for 3 fucking years, and you never said anything yet.
This sounds like it's getting personal.
Oh no, I openly admit. I'll tell you right now, I got a small dick. I do. I mean, there's no shame in me when I'm telling you myself it's fucking small. But anyways, no, females, you'd be in a relationship forever, and then you come out and you're like, he had a small dick. What's the point of that? What's up with that?
So, are you trying to tap me for insider information?
Well, kind of, but that's not all exactly what I'm trying to do. So yeah, I mean, that particular part of the topic, yeah, I'm tapping you for inside information, and that sounds so fucked up. But
to be honest, I've never dated someone with a small penis. So
we never dated. Then you couldn't say that. Moving on.
It's kind of fucked up, talking about someone's dick or whatever, because you could just in return be like, oh, her vagina was loose and blah blah blah, like on 2 cave, stuff like that, whatever.
Right.
But like, it's how when you're with someone and then you ignore all their flaws, and then when you break up, you ultimately like hate them in some retrospect, and then you realize, damn, all of this shit was fucked up, and I didn't give a fuck when I was with them, but now I realize that it was pretty fucked up. I could have done better, or, I can't believe that satisfied me, or I can't believe I faked an orgasm that many times.
This sounds like it's getting a little personal.
I will admit, I did have an on and off 6-year relationship where I had to do that quite often. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get a little deep in some peeves right now. I have never had one during sex.
Oh.
Never. And I am 24 years old.
I have had quite a few.
It's easy for you.
Normally,
you only got one place to play with.
Yeah, normally within a very short amount of time as well. So,
just come up short everywhere, Mike.
Ha! You were talking about orgasms during sex.
Oh, and the fact that I've never had one?
Right, correct.
Thanks for reminding me.
Well, there's nothing I can do for you.
Obviously.
Not to cut you off, I can't remember when it was, but we were talking about eating puss not too long ago, and I'm bad at that too. No idea what I'm doing. That thing, that thing is, by that thing I mean vaginas, or I feel like I could understand quantum mechanics a lot faster than what I could understand how to pleasure a woman properly.
It's not all that hard.
It gets you really, really, really like, here's some advice. Just ask her how she wants it. Like,
exactly.
Seriously, you just have to be like, okay. And if you can tell by her face if you're doing it too fast or too hard, or like you're
wrong spot.
Yeah, or you're like rubbing it like sandpaper on fucking.
Yeah, I try to I joke a lot, and it's all true. I was going to try to make up a lie there. I suck at everything that I do sexually. So there's that. Small dick, don't last very long, suck at everything sexually. I tell women that to begin with, so that when they find out it's true, they can't be disappointed, because I can be like, I fucking told you so.
At least you're honest.
So back to little dick shaming, because as one that packs such, I don't get it. I don't understand.
I just found a piece on the internet. It says 10 subtle ways to tell him that his penis is too small. Oh my god, the number 1 is break up with the douchebag. Break up with him because he has a small dick. That's the answer.
Well, of course, why not? Why do you think I'm single?
This is douchebag too, so you're automatically a douchebag if you have a tiny cock.
Well, we already knew that. So, Greg, tell me, how do you feel about little dick shaming?
I think it's stupid. I mean, because here's the thing. I mean, there are some guys like myself who are growers, not showers. So, I mean, you don't really know how big the dude's schlong is until after he gets excited. Like, I've always joked that my dick's like the Incredible Hulk. It starts out really tiny, but then you get it angry and it gets huge.
I am definitely a shower. Very,
but not in the way that you want it to be.
Exactly. If I went outside right now, but I was naked, it's like, let me see, how much is it? Well, it's actually a little bit below freezing right now, and it's
Okay,
gonna,
how about
it's gonna be
if
the
you went
equivalent.
out during the summer?
If I wanted to be a cross-dresser, it would be very easy for me to talk. Is what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is I've got to see it to believe it.
Why do you want?
I'm not saying I want to see your dick, but I don't know. I just don't
Okay.
believe that your dick is that small.
Okay. Well, then here we'll open it up like I've done before. Any of the females that I have performed coitus with is more than welcome to come on to the show and testify about it. They are more than welcome to. To throw it back from the beginning, Mahoney, you were asking a question when I was telling you about the semen wheel. That was it an ex of mine that you knew? My exes, I think you only know 2, though one you're actually friends with.
Yes.
Okay, so this close friend, is that the one you were asking if it was about?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't the particular close friend that you were talking about. She was never able to bring me to completion the few times that she attempted to do so.
That's not cool.
This makes me look like a piece of shit, but I think this is funny, so I gotta say this. So this particular friend that she's talking about, and I dated, obviously, hence the fact that she's my ex. And after we broke up, Mahoney and I were talking, and it looked like it was going in that direction. And I told Mahoney, basically, trust me, you don't want to date me. Just ask your friend. I'm a terrible boyfriend. I said this in hopes that her friend, my ex, would corroborate. I can't say that word. What I said to steer Mahoney away from me, because I wasn't ready for another relationship anytime soon at that point in time. So that was my master plan. Well, this ex-girlfriend of mine, her friend, doesn't agree with what I thought she would, and she was like, "No, he's actually not at all a bad boyfriend."
It's really sweet and stuff.
And I was like, "You fucking bitch. You ruined everything." Does anybody else have anything else to say about little dick shaming? I believe.
No, I think I got everything I wanted to say out of the way.
I don't understand it either. So I mean, I understand it. I just don't get why people do it.
Me either.
Some people are assholes.
And I don't know how somebody can get off to that as well.
Yeah,
Some people are fucked in the head.
That's the part that confuses me the most. Is I don't get the fact that it's tied in with porn. Like, how does someone? The only way I could see it tying in with porn is like beating off guys with ego complexes that are like, yeah, my dick's way bigger than his. Like, that's the only way. But then that's like borderline homosexual too, because you're like watching dicks to make sure yours is bigger.
I agree 100%. Speaking of little dicks and dicks in general, Greg tells one of the funniest stories, in my opinion, that has ever been told on the show. He told a story about when he had a friend over at his house, and he had a wet dream while this friend was there. Greg, do you remember the story?
Yes.
Well, I'm sure you remember the story. It was fucking devastating to happen to you. When Greg tells this story, he tells about the instance in which he realizes that he needs to change because of the embarrassment that will ensue if he does not. So while he's walking across the room, he realizes he has to step over said friend. And he sees just this little dribble of his wet dream falling from his pants and landing splash on his friend's lip.
Oh my god.
And no, that never happened. I'm just fucking with you. That never happened.
Jesus Christ.
I was about to cry.
Wait, okay, see. I need someone to fill me in. I need to know exactly what a wet dream is, because I don't think I've ever had one, and I've never, like, cared about it enough to, like, research.
It's when you have a dream that's really sexy, and when you wake up, your pants are wet.
Well, to be a little bit more specific, with males, they ejaculate in their sleep.
Yeah.
So basically, you have a dream most of the time. You may not remember the dream or whatever, and then when you wake up, you are glued to your sheets or your underwear or whatever you're wearing. You're glued to it at that point, and it's not something that you can control. It just kind of happens. So I've always wondered, and I've never actually like Googled it, if females have wet dreams as well.
I can't really recall one. Like, I know I've had, like, sexy dreams, but, like, I always get interrupted by some force of nature, like my children or an alarm clock or a parent. I don't know.
I've heard they can. I mean, I don't remember where I heard it, but I could have sworn I remember hearing that it's not just something that affects men. It can affect women too.
The female perspective of it versus the male perspective of it, at least you wouldn't have your puss glued to yourself. It would be...
Wouldn't it be glued closed?
I figure it would...
that's funny.
It would be more of a, when you start your period in your sleep type of thing, to where you wake up and you're like, ah. But
now I have to throw these sheets away.
But it wouldn't be that dramatic, but it would be more of a did I start my I didn't start my period in my sleep. I just had a wet dream. I'm about to fuck up my Google search history here in a second. Female wet dreams. Nocturnal emission is also
that's the scientific term.
Yeah. Studies have found that more boys and men have spontaneous nocturnal sexual experiences than girls and women, but female wet dreams may be more difficult to identify with certainty than a male wet dream because ejaculate is usually associated with male orgasm, while vaginal lubrication may not indicate orgasm.
Exactly. That's why it's so easy to fake it.
Basically, you would be orgasming in your sleep, but there's no identifying factor for a female like there is a male. Like I said, you're not going to wake up with your lips glued shut or anything of that nature. It's with males, of course, like I said, you're glued to a bed sheet. I feel like the trade-off is that we don't have periods, so we don't wake up ruining a pair sheets or whatever. Which
that's the trade-off. You get to have an orgasm, and we get to have a week worth of pain. Totally a trade-off in a man's world.
No, no. That's not.
No.
That's not what I was trying to say. What I was saying is, waking up, finding out that you started your period, versus waking up, finding out that you're glued to your sheets. Both kind of
not as equally. No.
No,
I'd have to agree with.
God damn it! I'm not even finishing my point.
Well, yeah, you know what? I'll let you finish then.
See, I'm saying that it's not as bad for guys, but if you could equate it to anything, like when you wake up after you've had a wet dream, you're like, fuck, because then you got to deal with your bed sheets or whatever. Yes, they only need washed or whatever. They don't need to have some shout sprayed on them or whatever, or thrown out or what have you. But it's still one of them, like, fuck, you got to deal with the bed sheet situation with the female. You start your period in your sleep. You got to deal with the bed sheets situation. Obviously, it's worse, but that's where I would equate it, which is basically saying nothing because they're not really equal at all.
No.
So
a more equal thing would be, like that time you got shit-faced and drank too much and didn't go pee before you went to sleep, and then you
pissed
yourself in your bed.
Oh, well, I've never done that, so...
No?
Neither have I. I try not to get, wasted when I drink alcohol. As soon as I begin feeling,
we've been through this.
Tipsy in that's when I stop, because I've heard far too many stories about from, family members about what happens when you get, shit-faced drunk, and I don't want to have any part of that, because that does not sound fun.
So, James, do you have any good wet dreams stories?
Not really.
So you don't have one
I don't remember actually having wet dreams, really. Except for when I was, going through puberty. Wake up, glued to your underwear, what happened?
We're trying to get to the bottom of female wet dreams, but that didn't pan out. So, Mahoney, I'd like to thank you for coming on again for a second time.
Thank you for having me.
The listeners will be excited. I was excited. It was a great time, and everyone at this point will probably just no longer ever listen to the show again. Or we might get some creep-ass motherfuckers that are like, yeah.
Yeah, don't link anything of mine.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That does it for another episode of 30 Minutes of Mayhem. I have been your host. My name is Michael Mayhew, and I have been here with my co-hosts,
Greg
and James.
Don't forget to check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, YouTube, Android, all of that stuff, and donate to us on PayPal because this is not cheap to do, and I am goddamn broke. So there's that. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, and later, fellas.